Hey everybody. I see this question pop up now and then whenever somebody records in person for the first time after only experiencing remote recording, and that's about how do we handle mic bleed. A lot of times this comes as a surprise to people who have only recorded remotely, and they are left wondering, how can I fix this? And the truth is, you can't really fix it. There's no microphone, there's no way to record that's going to eliminate it. It's just part of the way microphones work. They're going to hear and record all the sounds in a space. You put two microphones in a space and have two voices, both microphones are going to pick up both voices. There are things you can do to minimize it. You can use dynamic microphones. You can face your guest so that their voice is in the space of the microphone that nulls the most, but it's still going to pick them up. We'll turn to this example, which is a couple that I work with. It's a husband-wife co-host situation. They are in the same space. They're doing everything they should be to minimize mic bleed. They're using dynamic mics, and they are facing each other. In theory, this should minimize any mic bleed, but let's take a look at how much actually still exists. Okay, so first, let's just play a little bit of the audio.
Narrators Radio. And as always, our purpose is to spark new insights, inspiration, and immediately useful.
Okay, right there, it doesn't sound too bad, but let's listen to what the mic bleed actually sounds like.
And as always, our purpose is to spark new insights, inspiration.
So that is going to add a little bit of reverb to his voice when we have both tracks playing. Let's come over here and listen to the other host talk.
And in our own conversations with top business leaders, this can present a special challenge.
Yeah.
And people are often quite passionate about their views in every direction. And there are all kinds of implications for.
This showcases another problem that we get when we have multiple mics in a room. You get a good recording of any background noise from the other person's mic. So let's listen to what's going on in the background here while she talks.
Yeah.
And people are often quite passionate about their views in every direction. And there are all kinds of implications.
So the rustling and the breathing, you can hear as she's talking.
Can present a special challenge.
Yeah.
And people are often quite passionate about.
And that can be really distracting. And there's all kinds of background noises that get picked up like that. So there are two ways that we can approach mic bleed. The first, the method that a lot of people recommend because they think it's easier, is to use a gate. So here I've got a gate that's been set up to his voice so that it's set to cut out all of her mic bleed.
Yeah.
We can hear the gate is cutting out all of her mic bleed, but let's see if it's causing any problems during his dialogue.
Purpose is to spark new insights, inspiration, and immediately useful ideas to help visionary leaders accelerate themselves and their companies, of course, to their next level of game-changing innovation, transformation, and growth. And Pam, we love to follow trends, and one of the ones that's already big and
the biggest problem with gates is they are so difficult to get set up right so we don't get that really choppy sound like we're getting right here, where it cuts off ends of words or the beginnings of words and it just starts sounding really choppy.
Innovation, transformation, and growth. And Pam, we love.
This is the biggest reason why I don't really recommend gates. But if you are going to use a gate, I recommend the Sonable Smart Gate. It does a really good job with cutting out the background noise without really getting choppy once you get it set up well.
Great to join you for another episode of Growth Igniters Radio. And as always, our purpose is to spark new insights, inspiration, and immediately useful ideas to help visionary leaders accelerate themselves and their companies, of course, to their next level of game-changing innovation, transformation, and growth. And Pam, we love to follow.
See, that sounds a lot more natural. Let's see how it handles the background noise.
Yeah.
And even here, with these basic settings, it's still letting some of that mic bleed through, which is, again, why I don't recommend using gates to treat mic bleed. The level of the other person's voice is going to be loud enough that it's going to be very difficult to gate the mic bleed without causing problems during the normal dialogue. The way I handle it, and I do this with all audio that I work on, whether it's recorded remotely or in person, is I go through and I cut out all of this stuff. So if somebody's not talking, I cut it out. And I'm not looking to get everything perfect. I'm just looking to cut out the big chunks, and I'll fine-tune the rest of it as I edit. As you can see, if you zoom out when you do all of these cuts, it doesn't take much time to clean up an episode. And then, like I said, I'd go through and fine-tune everything as I edit. But I just cleaned up most of the crosstalk, or I've cleaned up most of this audio in just a couple minutes, and we're looking at 40 minutes of audio. So it doesn't take long to manually go in and clean this up. So instead of having all of this noise here, that's all gone. So all we're hearing is her direct voice.
Roots and Political Action Committee influence expert who founded the Showalter Group to help associations and corporations.
It's a subtle difference a lot of times, but when there's those loud bits of noise, it really makes a difference. The end result is much cleaner, and that just provides the listeners with a better listening experience. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have, you might want to check out some of these other videos in my podcast editing playlist. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.